itself is compromised. That might not happen for sure, but still nothing can be said. And for our security point of view, we need to encrypt all the data from our side for our safety. So if we want to provide an additional lock and additional safety security for our virtual machine disks and all, then we can encrypt our VM disk from our side also. Anyhow, Microsoft Azure will give a default and default encryption to your disks, no doubt, but still if you want you can apply the disk from your end also. Okay, we can enable the BitLocker to enable the entire disks for our Azure virtual machine. Okay, if we see before the if we see before the encryption of our disk, then we can find SSE with PMK. Okay, so what is this SSE? I'll just tell. It means that encryption is happening from Azure side by default. Okay, when we are saying for our disk SSE with PMK, it means that encryption is happening from Azure side by default. The SSE with PMK stands for server side encryption, and with the PMK means a platform managed key, and the encryption that we do is called ADE, that is Azure Disk Encryption, and this is based on BitLocker. So using a key vault and PowerShell commandlets, we are going to encrypt our VM disks. Okay, so these are the implementation steps that we can go with for the VM disk encryptions. VM disk encryption. See guys, when we deploy VM, okay, when we deploy a VM, then C drive disk will automatically, okay, attach or come to our VM, and data disk drive, okay, we can attach it manually if we want, based upon the business requirement. Correct now? This we have seen in our previous classes. In our previous classes, we have seen this already. So what I'll do, I'll quickly go ahead and I'll deploy one virtual machine. Okay, so let me go to the Azure portal here. Fine. So I'll deploy just one virtual machine. Okay. I'll take the resource group as Naresh RG. I'll take it as my VM. Normal, plain VM, how we are deploying. In that same way only, I am deploying one virtual machine here. Okay. Fine. This is the same name I'm giving, and I'll give this password here. Okay. Go ahead and deploy the virtual machine. Let the VM gets deployed here. Waiting for the VM deployment to be completed. Okay, good. The VM deployment is completed here. Okay, if I go and I will attach one data disk to this VM. This all demos we have done already in our previous classes. There is nothing new here that what I'm doing. Okay. If you want, guys, okay, so you can just see the recordings, you will get it. Okay, fine. I'm just going here with the read write. Okay, post sketching, click on save. When we were doing our virtual machine demos on the time, if any one of you has remembered, then every single step we have discussed in detail about attaching of the VMs, expanding the VM disk sizes. Okay, right? Yes or no? So the disk is been attached. Now I'll go ahead and I'll log into the VM. Okay. Okay. So this is the virtual machine that we have just now created in cloud computing, and we have logged into the VM also. The server manager is getting opened here. Okay. Let us go ahead and wait for some time. See, the blue line is going on here. It means that the server manager is getting opened. Wait for some time for it. And if you see here that C drive disk is already been attached to our VM by default because it's an OS disk, right? This is a temporary disk. This will also will get by default. Data disk I'm going to launch now from server manager. Okay. So I'll say here all servers, no, files and storage services, disk. Okay. I'll say here initialize, say yes, right click, and I'll say here new volume. Okay. Next, I'm just launching. I'm launching the disk inside the server. Close. Come see here that new disk is came. Data drive disk. This is C drive disk. This is temporary disk. These two will get by default. This is the one we have launched. Now, if you see here for these disks, okay, what it is showing here, see SSE with PMK. This is what I have told in the material. What I have told that we'll see SSE with PMK. Okay, this is what default Azure will give this encryption. That is what server side encryption with platform managed key, SSE with PMK. The same thing I have shown in the material and it is reflecting in the Azure portal also. What I'll do now, I'll start encrypting this disk from my end also. Azure has already encrypted. Okay, Azure has already encrypted the disks. Okay, from its side. Now I'm going to encrypt it again from my side also. So what is happening here? Lock on top of another lock. Lock on top of another lock. Two locks. Lock, then again one more lock. Double lock we are doing, or double security we are giving. We are ensuring that nothing will go wrong here. Fine. So how we are doing this one? We are doing using Azure Key Vault and PowerShell commands. Okay, we are doing this one now. Encryption of the disk from our end also using Azure Key Vault and PowerShell commandlets. Fine. So what I am saying here, these steps I have written here. Implementation steps to encrypt the Azure VM disks. Firstly, deploy the VM in Azure portal while attaching the disk. This I have done. Log into the VM, launch the disk in Azure VM, and ensure the disks are visible in VM and which are not encrypted also. Log into the VM. I log into the VM. I have seen that the disks are visible and not encrypted. Not encrypted means what, guys? If these disks are encrypted from my end as well, from our end as well, then we'll see locks here. Lock on this disk, lock on this disk, lock on this disk. Separately, we'll see. If the locks are not there, it means that the disks are not encrypted from our end. The disks are encrypted from Azure side only. If we encrypt the disk from our side also, then we'll see logs here. That is what I am saying here in the material. This is also done. Now create a key vault. Next step 3 is what? Create a key vault and fill the below details. Okay. So come to Azure portal, come to home and say here key vault. Just search here key vault. You got it. Click on create. Okay. Resource group Naresh RG. Key vault name, I'll take it as Naresh KV. Okay, Naresh Key Vault. Okay, so it is saying the name is already in use. So I'll just say here something like 1996. Something I'm giving, some unique name. Yes, it accepted now. We got the green check mark. East US. So let me see where is my VM here. I believe I have deployed my virtual machine in East US region only. Just confirming. Let me see here 1 minute. So yeah, it is in East US, see, East US. So I'm deploying my keyboard also in East US location only. Pricing tier, okay, all these details I have mentioned, guys. See, subscription, pick up any subscription as per the name of your subscription. Resource group, any resource group. Keyboard name, give any name. A region, mostly it is recommended to give same region for keyboard as VM. Yes, that is what we have given. Pricing tier, I'm giving it as standard. Okay, multiple options you are having, premium, standard and all. I'm just going with here standard. Okay, and days to retain deleted vaults, this I have told already. So it will just keep that vault and it secrets everything here in your vault up to 90 days, whatever the number of days you are passing here. Next, click on next here, and here is the catch. What is that? Here you have to choose this option, Azure disk encryption for volume encryption. So disk or volume is one of the same thing. I'm saying here, I'm purposely deploying this key vault. The motive of deploying this key vault is it should help me to encrypt my VM disks using PowerShell commandlets. If you skip this option, then this key vault cannot help you to encrypt the disk. Same thing I have mentioned here. Check the box Azure disk encryption for volume encryption and leave rest of the values to default. And finally, click on review plus create to deploy the key vault. Okay, fine. Next, networking. I'm just making it as to all networks available. Pass on the tags here accordingly as per your project requirements. It is optional also. If you don't pass it, it won't throw you any error. Then next here, and then finally say here review plus create, and then click on create to create a key vault. To create a key vault here. Okay. So let us wait for some time. It is just doing the validation. Once the validation is completed, then this create button will be enabled for us automatically. This create button will be enabled for us automatically. Okay. Good. Click on create. Now the key vault is getting created for us. Deployment is in progress. Okay, good. The deployment is completed for the key vault. Okay, Naresh KV 1996, the key vault name we have given. Next, what it is asking us, open the Cloud Shell, okay, in Azure portal and run the PowerShell commands as mentioned below, and note the VM should be in a running status while executing these PowerShell commands. So this is the PowerShell command that we are going to use to encrypt the VM disk. First come here and put these commands here and see key vault. Okay, first get the Azure key vault name. What is the vault name we have given here? Naresh KV 1996, right? Be very careful, guys. Don't do any mistake. N is capital, rest all things are small, followed with the numerics 1996. That is what I have given here. Good. Resource group name. What is the resource group name? That is Naresh RG. Okay, our keyword is in Naresh RG resource group. Next, set, okay, Azure VM disk encryption extensions in a resource group called Naresh RG. Okay, I'm just making my PowerShell script here. Okay, for the VM name called my VM, just check the VM name. What VM name we have given here? My VM. Okay, here M is capital. Okay, so in this resource group for the VM name my VM, disk encryption key vault URI. Okay, we'll get the vault URI. I have told this in the beginning classes if you guys remember. So I'm just giving here vault URI for disk encryption. For which VM? For this VM in this resource group. Okay, followed with the vault URI hyphen disk encryption key vault ID. Okay, key vault.id resource ID. Okay, fine. Take this complete script, PowerShell commandlet, come here, click on this Cloud Shell, click on this Cloud Shell. Okay, say here, create a storage account as it's a normal routine procedure that it will ask us to create a storage account when we are executing the PowerShell commandlets. Okay, disk encryption URL. There is no URL for disk encryption. I don't know what you are listening. Where I have told that I am having some disk encryption URL here. This PowerShell commandlet I have prepared, okay, along with the key vault URI. Acha, key vault URI, okay. Then why are you saying this encryption URI then? Okay, I'll show. 1 minute, hold on. Now, connecting terminal to the PowerShell. Okay, wait for some time. Don't hastily. Just wait. Let it get connected completely. Fine. Now, right click and paste the PowerShell command. Okay, paste the PowerShell command here. See, guys, the hint, the clue that I'm going to giving you is that once the encryption is applied on the disk, now you will see locks here. Automatically the locks. When the locks are came, it means that the disk encryption has been completed. Okay, please keep this in mind. Fine, it is done now. I'll say here hit enter. So what it is asking, see this commandlet. See what it is saying? This commandlet prepares the VMs and enable encryption, which may reboot the machine and take some 10 to 15 minutes of time to finish this process. Please save your work on the VM before confirming. Do you want to continue? I'll say here, yes. Okay. Now, if you wait for some time, maybe some 10 to 15 minutes, then here you are going to see logs on your VM disk. This is your server, cloud server, right? I have connected to the cloud server. See, this is my cloud server. So this is the vault URI. If you go here, here you will find the vault URI on top right. This I have shown in the last classes, guys. This is vault URI. Okay. This we use in our these developers will use in their config files, in their coding, in their connection string to save the secrets and key values inside the coding in connection string also. So this is the vault URI. Okay, in last classes also I have shown. Okay, so just check the recording. See, now it's still running the operation. Just wait patiently here. Okay, don't be panic. It has given you a time of 10 to 15 minutes time frame. 10 to 15 minutes means okay, it won't take 10 to 15 minutes because the VM is completely empty right now. In this server we are not having any data. This is also free disk, this is also free disk, this is also free disk. If you are having kind of data and all, in that case it might take some more time, but I don't think it will take 15 minutes also. 10 to 15 minutes also it won't take. Okay, it will just do it in 5 minutes hardly. I believe 1 minute is completed. Okay, we'll wait for 3 4 minutes, then we'll get a status here. It has been completed, or it got failed, or it got succeeded, whatever it is. So just wait for it for some time. Okay. Super. Super. See what it is saying? Is success status code is true. It is completed. Status code is also okay. Okay. Reason phrase is showing something that is also okay. Fine. This is completed now. It has not taken 10 minutes also hardly. I think it has taken some 4 to 5 minutes. Now come here and check whether you are able to see the logs or not on your VM disks. Wow. See, logs applied here automatically. See, logs applied here automatically. So how we have done these tasks, how we have achieved this using PowerShell commandlets. And what is that? That is this one. This is the commandlets that we have used to do this task. So the point I'm trying to make here is PowerShell commandlets like this, it helps you to perform multiple tasks in your project. And guys, please see here, don't try to remember these commandlets. It's very difficult. You cannot, to be honest. Even I don't know these commandlets. What we'll do in our real-time projects now? In our real-time projects, we'll do this complete documentation somewhere in our central repository. And every team member will pick up the PowerShell scripts like this. They will make the changes accordingly. How I have done the changes here? Vault name as per my requirement I have given. Resource group name I have given as per my requirement. VM name I have given as per my requirement. Resource group name I have given. Okay, vault URI and all. I'll make the PowerShell command script ready. Okay, by making the necessary changes, and I have executed here in the PowerShell like this only. Okay, you cannot remember. If you write it 10 times, you will remember. After 5 days, if you try to write it again, you will forget. You cannot write. It's very dry. It's very dry. So no one will remember. What we'll do, we'll just do the documentation in our real-time projects. People who are having 10, 12 years experience also, they cannot remember this. So please put the efforts, put your efforts, do the hard work in a right direction. Okay. If you are trying to, trying to put a nail on a wall, okay, and if there is a beam, you are trying very hard to put the nail and you don't know that beam is there behind that column, then the nail won't go. Means what? You are doing a lot of hard work, but on the wrong direction. So you won't get the results. In the same way, I'm saying you put your efforts in a right direction. Okay. Do the labs rather than, trying to remembering the scripts and all. Keep doing the labs again and again, again and again, again and again. That makes you perfect. And read this material also. Okay, now this PowerShell command is to encrypt the disk. Now this command is to check the disk encryption status. Okay, come here. Okay, paste it. Get Azure VM disk encryption status. VM name, what is that? That is my VM only. And resource group name, that is Naresh RG. Say Naresh RG. Copy this PowerShell command. Come here and paste it. Enter. Okay. See, OS volume, C drive disk encrypted, data volume encrypted, OS volume encryption setting we have done, where Microsoft Azure management compute models disk encryption settings with so and so version number. Everything it is showing here with the PowerShell command. Again, this is the PowerShell command to check the disk encryption. Now this is to enable the disk encryption. This is to disable the disk encryption. If you want to disable only for OS disk, then this command you have to run. If you want to disable the encryption only for data disk, this command you have to run. If you want to disable for both OS disk and data disk, then this command you have to run. Same like this command you have to run, PowerShell command, to delete your key vault. What you have created the key vault na, you can delete that key vault using this command. Okay, we always have to encrypt the OS disk first. Note, interview question, very important. We always have to encrypt the OS disk first, then later we can encrypt the data disk. If we try to encrypt the data disk first, then we'll get an error, because OS disk is critical compared to data disk from server's point of view. Okay, fine. Is that clear, guys? Now, one more automation task. Okay, again, this is related to PowerShell only. Many concepts we are seeing with PowerShell here. Okay, so automation we can also do using PowerShell commandlets. This is one of the tasks I have shown using PowerShell scripts. And one more thing I am going to show is automation. How we can do an automations using PowerShell commandlets. And what we are doing here in automation, we are going to install a software IIS in multiple Azure workloads. You can call it as workloads, you can call it as VMs, you can call it as nodes also. What is that software? I'm going to install a software called Internet Information Services or Server. Okay, fine. Is that clear? So, what I'm going to do here, I'll show you an automation here. How? Okay. Yes, Shiva, you can do it so. Shiva, you can do it so, ma. See, this is what I have told, right? I have not given you the script to encrypt only the C drive disk. Okay. If you want it, you can get it in Google. In Google, you will get the commandlet to encrypt only the C drive disk. This I have given to encrypt both C drive and data disk. If you want, you can encrypt only the C drive disk also. But mostly I have experience, as per my knowledge, as per my career, I have seen that if we are encrypting the VM disks, then we encrypt both. That is C drive and data drive also. Okay, if you want only C drive, that you can do. If you want only data drive, then it is not possible. You have to do C drive first, then you have to do D drive, data drive. That is what I have mentioned here in the material. Okay, fine. So next thing what I'm saying here, automation using PowerShell. How we can do an automations using PowerShell. Using PowerShell, we can do automations also. I'm going to show you one of the automations in which I'm going to install Internet Information Services software. This software I'm going to install on my virtual machines. Okay. So what I'll do here, I will just minimize this one. This is my one VM, right? So what I'll do here, I'll deploy one more VM. Okay. I'll deploy one more VM, two VMs. Okay. So I'll just go ahead. I'll say here something called Naresh VM. Okay. I'm saying here one more VM called Naresh VM. Two VMs I'm deploying it. Carefully see this demo, guys. This is very important. If you tell that, these things you can do in Azure cloud computing as a DevOps engineer, trust me, guys, your value is something like anything I'm telling. Okay, people who are having 5 years, okay, 6 years of experience also, no, they cannot do this kind of things what you're learning here in Naresh IT. I'm telling. Okay, fine. So I'm just saying here password, confirm password. Okay, I'll take the basic port openings here. Okay, and I'll go ahead and I'll deploy the virtual machine. Okay. Two VMs I'm going to deploy now. Okay. So let us wait until this VM gets deployed. So if you have come up with a requirement, okay, if you are having a requirement in a project where your client is saying that, okay, all one software in all the VMs. Let us take you are having some 5 VMs or 10 VMs or 15, 20 VMs, whatever it is, etc. You are having a requirement where a software you have to install in 20 VMs. If you go to each and every VM individually and install a software, then it is a kind of mechanical job. It is a kind of a mechanical job that is not recommended. Okay, like a fool, you are going to each and every VM and you are installing the software. Instead of that, what I'll do, I'll do an automation, okay, using PowerShell commandlets, where I'll just select the virtual machine, okay, then automatically the software will be installed in my VMs, whatever the VMs we have selected. Read this again, carefully read it again. Okay, I'll come here. Okay, and we are doing this with desired state configuration. Okay, I have just kept this also in the material for your point of view. Okay. What I'm saying here, if you are having a requirement in your project where your client is saying that install one software, and that could be, let us take for an example as IIS, okay, in all the VMs, and you are having 5, 10, 15, 20 VMs, okay, then if you go and I'll say here, and okay, if you go to each and every VM individually and install a software, then it is kind of mechanical job. Okay, not recommended. It is not recommended. Okay, what I'll do instead, instead of that, okay, we will do an automation using PowerShell commandlets, where I will select the VM, then automatically what will happen? The software will be installed in my VMs, whatever the VMs we have selected. Okay, so this is basically an automation here, and we are doing this one using PowerShell commands, okay, via desired state configuration. Okay, desired state configuration is one of the features that we are having with an automation account. See, scenario also I have given here. Let's imagine we have few servers in our environment, and we want deploy IIS or any tool, or we would like to copy some files from our storage account to a specific path on the server. Then you can do multiple tasks, guys. Okay, multiple tasks you can do with PowerShell commands. I'm going to show you one for this software installation. Now, these are the implementation steps. Before I go here, see, these are my two VMs, my VM and Naresh VM. Okay, two VMs now. If I go to this VM, and if I say here extensions plus applications, is there any software? It is saying Azure Disk Encryption is there. Azure Disk Encryption is there. Okay. IIS is there here? No. IIS is not there. Same if I go to Naresh VM. Okay. But I think for this VM, disk encryption has been done. Okay, let us try. I'm not sure. Okay. For this VM now, if you go to extension plus applications, here no software is being installed. Now I'll do an automation where I'll try to install a software IIS, Internet Information Services, on both these VMs. Okay, so what I'm saying here, see, deploy two VMs. Deploy two VMs, okay, with a name called Web Server 1 or Web Server 2. Any name you can give, it's your choice. Two VMs I have deployed with a name called My VM and Naresh VM. Deploy automation account. Okay, what I'll do now, next go here and deploy an automation account. I'll say here an automation account. Okay, click on create. Okay, to create a new automation account, I'll say here Naresh RG. I'll say here name as Naresh Auto. I'll say here Naresh automation account as Naresh Auto. East US is fine for me. I'm making a system assigned. I'm making this automation account as a public accessible. Next, pass on the tags here accordingly. Then say here review plus create, and then click on create. Now, what you have done, you have deployed an automation account. Next is what we are having in VM. Check extensions. Okay, this I have shown just now. Okay, and if you see inside this VM, my VM, okay, see, you are having okay, server manager. Okay, come to servers here. Okay, come here. Come here. Okay, go to server manager homepage. Let me open the server manager. See, this is a server manager homepage, and you are having IIS here. No, you're not having IIS. Okay, you're not having IIS. Same if you log in here also to the second virtual machine, that is Naresh VM. This is what my VM. Okay, I am logging into the Naresh VM also. Okay. Okay, this is my Naresh VM. See my cursor here on top. Okay. Server manager is getting open here. The same I have mentioned here in this material also. Okay. In VM, check extensions in Azure portal that I have shown already. Log into the VM and check if any extension of software installed in server manager, that is IS, is been installed or not. Okay, here I am referring to IS. So both the VMs we have seen that in server manager. This is my Naresh VM. Inside this server manager is there. Here IIS is not installed. If IIS would be there, then we would be seeing here one extra box saying here IIS. Server has been installed. Okay. Yes, Madhavi, I'm deleting the resource groups directly. This you are asking me, I think very long, very late. I say yes. I'm deleting every resource group after I'm finishing the class. I have told this 100 times, I believe. Don't keep the resource groups. Okay, though it's a free trial account also, delete it immediately so that it won't take your money even if it's a free trial account also. I think you guys are doing the same thing, na? And we can do this in free trial accounts only. Don't do this in real-time projects. You will be out of the project, out of the company if you do these mistakes. Okay, right. So anyhow, in your real-time projects, you won't be having even access also to delete the resource groups. It's not possible for you to delete the resource group in your real-time projects. But still, I'm telling, in your free trial account, you can delete it. It's not a problem. See now, no IS has been installed here in Naresh VM also. Good. Now what I'll do, I'll go to an automation account. Okay. And I'll do some settings here. I'll just come here. Okay. I'll just delete this one. Okay, what it is saying, come to an automation account, then go to state configuration. This is my automation account. Come inside the automation account, say here state configuration. See, state configuration, DSC left side, configuration at the center, configurations at the center. Then click on here plus add, here plus add. Okay, then browse. What I'll do, I will copy this one, Control C, come here, put it in your desktop, open this. This is the PowerShell script I have written. This is the PowerShell script I have written where I am saying that, install an IIS server, okay, for whichever servers I want. Okay, fine. This is the PowerShell script I have written. Close this one. Now come here. Okay, click on this folder. Go to desktop. Say here this file name. You just say it as, name. You can pass it as IAS installation or anything. What I am passing here, the name, see, web servers. Okay. Browse, select the file from your local laptop, name, web servers, or anything you can pass. It's upon your choice. Okay. IIS installation. Okay. Description, you can pass on here. Installing the IIS on multiple servers using PowerShell script. Okay. IIS installation, I'm just passing the name here. Okay, anything you can pass, I believe. Okay, IIS installation, then click on OK. So once you click on OK, wait for some time. Okay, it's getting failed here. Okay. So an error occurred while importing dataset configuration IIS installation. It is the configuration name in the script must match the configuration name. Acha, okay, fine. So I'll just click on add here. I'll say here what I'm giving. See, I'm giving here web servers. I'm giving here web servers. So what I'll do, instead of this, I'll just give here IIS installation. IIS installation. Okay. IIS is a software. Here also, I'll give just the same thing. Okay. Save. Close. Come here. Come here. Okay. Configuration. Add. Browse. Okay. IIS. And then give here this name only. IIS installations. Let us see whether it will get pass or fail this time. Description, I'm saying here, installing IIS, okay, on multiple servers using PowerShell script. Okay. Okay. See, it seems completed now. Okay. So we didn't get any error. See, we are getting green check mark now. Okay. So we'll wait for it for some time. Now click on the web server compile. So this won't be a web server. It will be an IIS installations. Okay. So just refresh. See, we got it. IIS installations. So just say here IIS installations. Okay, same na? STALLA. TAUNS, right? Fine. We got it. Click on this one now and say compile. Say yes. See, are you sure you want to compile this configuration with the nodes that what you want to attach? It simply say yes. Let us see the compilation should get passed. Super. See, the compilation is succeeded. Fantastic. Wait for some time here until the status change to completed. See, I have mentioned here very nicely. Compile yes. Component automation account state configuration. Then configuration. Double click on the IIS installation here. Okay. This one only. That you will find it on the center. Wait for some 10 minutes and here it will show the job status as completed. Okay. So we'll just wait for some time. The job status, it should show here completed, not queued. Queued means it is in pipeline. It is in queue that it is going to wait for the compilation to get complete. Okay. We have clicked here compile and we have said yes, na guys. So it went to queue here. Depends upon the cloud servers, how much it is there and all. So it will take some time. Next step, it is asking us is there an refresh option? Okay, I'm just checking now. State configuration. Then configurations. Okay, double click on IIS installations. See, it is starting now. Previously, it was showing in queue. Now it is starting. Okay, we'll wait for guys. We'll wait. We cannot go hurry burry, else we'll get an error. See what it is saying? Wait for some 10 minutes. Actually, it is saying that wait for some 10 minutes, and here it will show the job status as completed. We have to wait for some 10 minutes here. Okay. So I think we have waited up to 2 to 3 minutes. We'll wait for some more time. Now, see, the status is completed. The status is completed here. This is what we have to get for sure. Okay. Then it will show the job status as completed. Now come to automation account. Okay. Go to an automation account here again. Okay. Then state configuration. State configuration. Say nodes here. Say add. See, two servers we are having, right? My VM and Naresh VM. Click on this one, my VM. Say connect. And then what you have to do here, choose IIS installations. IIS software installations. Okay. Configuration mode, say here, apply and autocorrect and say okay. Now what it is doing, it is connecting. Means what? It is installing IIS software in my VM. Okay. Likewise, same what I'll do. I'll go here and I will install this software IIS even in the other VM, that is Naresh VM. Okay. Node plus add Naresh VM, connect IIS installations. I'm going to install on it. Okay. And then say okay. What it is doing now, it is installing IIS on my server, that is my VM, also on Naresh VM. Both this VM is going to install. Once it is done, it will take some time again. See, as per the documentation, I'm saying here now, wait for some 8 to 10 minutes and come to the VM extensions, and we'll see that the PowerShell desired state configuration has been provisioned and the status will be showing as completed. Okay. And then let us wait for some time. I'll just show. See, it is still connecting. It will show you the status as completed. Okay. It has told wait for some 8 to 10 minutes. Okay. It's just few seconds have done till now. Okay. We'll wait for some at least 5 to 10 minutes here. Okay. Okay, it is still showing as connecting only. Okay, just 2 minutes has done till now. Okay, let us wait for at least 8 to 10 minutes here. Okay, here I have mentioned wait for some 8 to 10 minutes. Okay, these are very advanced concepts, guys, where you are learning automations here to install, okay, software in multiple VMs in one go, just in one click. Yeah, see, it's successfully connected to the VM, that is my VM, and for Naresh VM, it is still going on. Okay, let us wait for some time for it. And if you go to my VM and you will see here, IS has been installed. Come here, just say refresh, you will find IS box. Yeah, see, IS box, you got it. Previously, this box was not showing, means that IS software is been installed in my VM. Same wise, it will show an IS box here also in Naresh VM once it is completed. Okay, Naresh VM is still connecting. It is still installing the software. I don't know why it's taking this much long time for Naresh VM. Okay, not long time. The documentation time, as per Microsoft documentation, it is 8 to 10 minutes. Okay, we'll wait. Oh, yeah, see, it's completed now. It's completed now. Super. Now, what I'll do, I'll come here. Okay, I'll just say here, refresh. I'll get IIS here. Yeah, see, IIS got installed. So in both the VMs, IIS got installed just with a single click. That's it, finished. And this magic is happening through PowerShell scripting. Fine, guys. See, IIS is there in my VM also. So, hence, what I'm saying here, we have deployed the software IIS on multiple nodes or VMs using the PowerShell scripting via Azure automation accounts. Fine. All right, guys. I'll just stop the class here. In tomorrow's class, I'll start from what is Azure DevOps. Basically, okay, we are going to learn a new tool from tomorrow, that is dev.azure.com. What is this and all these things I'll explain in tomorrow's class. Okay, from here we'll start in tomorrow's class. Okay, practice, guys, practice these things. Though it's very dry, I understand, but see the recordings and practice it again and again. All right. Any questions, anyone? No, yes. Silence, I cannot understand, guys. I'm not God. See now, I'm going to home, I'm going to resource group, I'm going to Naresh RG, and I'm going to delete this resource group straightforward. That's it. All things will be deleted from my resource group now. Like this, I'm deleting all the resource groups, because if I keep it like that only, then it will keep charging me unnecessarily. Every single thing will be deleted here except the RG. All the resources will get deleted now. Okay, fine. Any questions, anyone? Guys, please say something. Yes, no, we are not interested. We were not listening. Silence, please. It makes me very irritated. Silence, I don't understand. Please, no response makes me go mad. Okay. All right, guys, then. Thank you so much. We'll connect again tomorrow. Yeah, thank you, Dilip. Yeah, thank you, Lohit. Fine. We'll start tomorrow.